Hello, and welcome to the mothership. I am your commander, General Laxivrak, and thank you for joining us. This is probably just going to be a short video. I am trying out a new microphone. Excuse me. I am trying out a new microphone, so as we will be shifting and generating our monotone accordingly. The mic does seem to be pretty good. As before, I seemed like I had to scream. And when I listened to my own videos, I did not like the way my voice sounded, because it sounded like I talked way up here. And I think it's some sort of common... I think that definitely... I mean, we all know that any kind of electronic is going to distort your voice, but I think there's a... I don't know, I think there's just more to it, like it's on purpose or something, I don't know. Pause for the cause. This episode's brought to you by a fucking black cup of coffee. Did I wait 30 seconds before I said fuck? I don't know. We should get a timer and put it on the wall here. So yeah, this is just going to be a little, just a little video, just a Lack saying hi to Lack, and Lack saying hi to you, motherfuckers. No, I wanted to talk a little bit just about customs and kit bashing. I do not paint, to be honest with anybody. I've never really painted. I don't paint. I don't go into I don't go into projects. I just bumped the mic, and I'm said oops because I'm sure it made a big fucking noise because I tested it a little bit. The only thing I've literally ever painted is Yuri Modelo's red right there. And it's the wrong paint, and I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm not a painter. Gilster37, he's the painter. Let's put Yuri right there. So I guess I'm what they call a kit basher. Anyway, I wanted to go through... I have another Lack custom that's on the chopping block right now, and it's not finished. Well, nobody's ever finished, right? But he's nowhere near for anyone to see. For those of you who have seen my channel, of course, this is some sort of painted Laxivrak custom that was sent to me free of charge by the lovely Kelly at Hey Kelly Auctions. Check him out on eBay. I think it's eBay. I'm doing this from memory. It's ebay.com/USR/Hey Kelly. And Hey Kelly is phonetically Hey Kelly. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's phonetically. It's not HeyKelly. It's not that. I have his fucking card right here. God damn. Do you see what happens when Lack's fucking not prepared? I do have the card right here, very close to all my shit, because alright, well, I'm not editing, but anyway, this is a fucking cool thing that Hey Kelly Auctions sent me free of charge. He's a sweet dude. Buy shit from him. Look at his stuff. Buy shit from him. I think his prices are fair. And he's a nice guy. Here is a custom Laxivrak that I did. This is to represent, say, the, when he worked for the Empire. Right? Because Laxivrak is a renowned scout, hunter, and tracker. Right? Like, this is the motherfucking baddest ass... Chato's land, Valdez is coming, stalking moon. Like, this is the badass fucking native of Star Wars, like, I know now they're trying to make it, maybe Ahsoka, like, and I never, from Clone Wars, I never caught that, right? But now, with the new Tales of the Jedi, which I like, and I fucking cried the first episode, because I am a fucking native, and I was born and raised in the fucking woods, and even though whoever wrote that episode obviously knows nothing about it, I understood what they were trying to say, and it was sweet. But originally in Star Wars, this is the fucking native, right? This is the fucking Billy Bear from 48 Hours. This is the fucking Sonny Landon fucking Indian from fucking Predator. This is the Chief Edmund Lord from Alaska. This is Walter Manano, the fucking arguably the most baddest ass native military person in the United States history. Does anybody know? Has anybody ever heard of Walter Manano? Who was a native Alaskan, who was a veteran of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and I mean combat veteran. Literally killed the enemy in all three of those wars. Right? He wasn't a general by the end of it and sat in a desk. No, he fucking was there, motherfucker. And in Nam, he was an old fucking man, and he taught a lot of survival. And he was at one time, I'm sure it's not now because of political reasons and shit, but Walt Manano was the highest ranking Alaska native at one time. Like I said, I don't know if that's different now. I'm sure there's Alaska natives now that are generals and colonels, but during Vietnam, I think is it 3 up and 3 down, Master Sergeant? I could be wrong. Vagon could probably help me with that. But anyway, during the 60s and 70s, Master Sergeant was about as high as any Alaska native was ever going to fucking make it. And that native was Walt Manano. And that's my grandfather's cousin, Walt Manano. He died right before I was born. I never met him. But I've seen millions of pictures and heard all the stories. But anyway, this is the original fucking native of Star Wars. And he worked for the Empire, which was his mistake, and then once he found out how terrible they were, he quit them, you know. There's a regular stock action figure of Lax Sivrak, of course, which we've all seen. That's this one. In the timeline of these customs, he would probably come in here somewhere, in this gap. This custom is actually supposed to be a different character, I'm guessing, from whoever made that. So this is not really in the timeline. This is just a different outfit. Though this is a cool outfit. Much more cooler looking than this Farm Boy. But see, this outfit, it's just like an Obi-Wan or any other decent fucking movie where people know, like, he quit the Empire and he changed his clothes and he fucking put on something that made him look like a fucking nobody. So that's why when we see him, he's wearing that. In the cantina, of course, he meets Dice. And he becomes a rebel. And they go to... Hold on, I'm just fixing her. And they go to... Well, it's kind of... We don't know exactly. I'm still trying to figure it out. If there is any real... Something that used to be canon. But so they joined... They met. He wanted to bang her. He lied to her. He said, yeah, I'm a rebel. But he really just wanted to get in her pants, I guess. But then... You're not really sure, at least I haven't found it yet. We're not really sure what they did together in between the cantina and the Battle of Hoth. Now, in the Battle of Hoth, we know that he was a pilot, which is strange. The people who wrote that book, he's a scout and a hunter. He's a throat. He sneaks into camps by night and slits people's fucking throats. Excuse me. So why is he a fighter pilot all of a sudden? That I don't get. I have another grandfather, not Walt Manano, and not my grandfather who is his cousin, but I had another grandfather who, after World War II was over, he was sent into... training for, what do you call them, boot camps? He was sent into boot camps, Russian military boot camps, and he would sneak into the barracks after dark when they're all asleep, and he would slit every other person's throat. And then in the morning, the people who he didn't kill would wake up, and the person on either side of him was dead, and they would desert. And that's how we fought the Cold War, ladies and gentlemen, by sending Lax's grandfather into their recruiting places and slitting their fucking throats. America. So, anyway, this is turning into a super long Lack custom video. I have other shit to talk about. So anyway, certainly before he was a fighter pilot and at the Battle of Hoth, right? Before that, I'm sure Lack is the one that the rebellion sent to scout out that world. So there must be a Lack Sivrak, right? Because even at the Battle of Hoth, you don't wear your flight suit 24 hours a day, right? So on Hoth, there must be a Lack Sivrak in Hoth gear. Now, of course, this is a Power of the Force 2 Luke Tauntaun, and of course you can always tell Luke because he's the lighter color. We all know that. Oh, Phantom fucking down! And he's got the broken horn. And of course the only other fucking Tauntaun that we can get is Han's. Whoa, 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 Han! Fucking dickhole. Of course the only other Tauntaun is Han's, which has got like a he's got like a black. He's a much darker Tauntaun. Han has a black fucking parka on. So this is obviously Luke. Now, with this motherfucker being like a real native and all that kind of shit, like, and I'm not dissing Han's choice in colors, because it's obviously you could be camouflaged as well. But if you wanted to stay still or something with that big shade of black, I don't know. It's just when you have a big clump of black, I don't know. I would go with the more white, and I think Lack would also. We used to hunt Dall sheep in Alaska, and Dall sheep, everyone will tell you that Dall sheep is like the hardest thing on the continent, on our continent here to hunt. And other people would argue, you know, Dall sheep, mountain goats, pronghorn antelope out west in the plains, and not just Dall sheep, but you know, Rocky Mountain sheep, bighorn sheep. I think one of those you can't kill anymore. I don't remember, but they're all prove fairly hard to hunt. And most people when they hunt those animals, they will spot them. They will remove themselves from the situation. They're usually on a mountain, right? So I'm pointing up. So let's say you see a herd of these animals, the sheep or the goats. You see them on the top of this mountain. Most people, not you or me, but most fucking people who read the books, they will retreat, get on their horses, preferably, because you got a lot of work now, and they will ride around the back of the fucking mountain, hike up above them, and then shoot them from on top. Because, you know, they generally say, you know, sheep are not scared of shit above them because they know it's not a predator. Now, look, a lot of people kill sheep that way. And a lot of firearms and calibers that shoot very long... That's the other thing. Like, long distance shooting is how most people do this now, right? Like, everybody says, you know, like, oh, you got to have a gun that shoots 500-600 yards to shoot an antelope or a sheep on a mountain in Alaska. And, like, that's not the fucking case. Like, that's just not the case. What we used to do, and I was taught by my grandparents and my father, and I worked for one dude in Alaska who knew this, because he was an old timer, and he hung out with natives, and he was a Korean War veteran, and he'd been up there. He was like a third generation Alaskan, right? So he knew his shit. But what we would do is Dall sheep and mountain goats is what you use this for. The other animals, you slightly variate the color and the thing that you use, but the style is pretty much, the idea is the same. But we would get military overwhites, and I'm sure, I know you British people out there know what those are. Military overwhites, right? So they're snow camo made out of a special material that's pretty warm yet pretty thin. I don't know what it's made out of, but you can get, and they go over everything, so they're big and they're elasticy and all that kind of stuff, and they're easy to put on and take off. So what you do is you put on military overwhites, and one hunter doesn't go do this, because one white thing by itself is a danger. But if you have a herd of all things that look white, and you all know what you're doing, and you kind of follow each other, and you mill around, and you walk real slowly, and you stop. And look, when you hunt, always walk like this. Like, let's say this is your body, and this is your head. Always walk like this. You know, and you want to, like, you British people, you've all seen deer. You know, you've all seen deer walk, right? If a rabbit goes like this, and a person goes like this, right? A deer goes like this, right? And a deer stops, and they look, right? So you act like that. All your hoofed animals act like that. So you and all your friends, you walk real slowly, stopping, right? And you act like they act, and you walk right up to them. And that's how we used to shoot fucking doll sheep at 15 goddamn yards with a fucking bow and arrow. So, fucking suck it. You motherfucking concrete wannabe hunters, dude. I don't know. We used to Psywatch. That's a traditional... I'm sure there's other terms in other cultures. We used to call a thing called Psywatch. Later on, they called it cold camp. Cold camp is when you go to a place where the animals move all the time, like a trail. Like most people now build a fucking some sort of house up in a tree on a trail, and they wait for something to come by. And you know, in today's world of private property and shit, that might be the only way you could do it. So I'm not. But what we used to do is you would find a real nice fucking trail or something that you knew the fucking, or you find a river or a creek, a lake or something where they were crossing. But you would, and then in the old days, you would literally lay down in the middle of the trail. And in the old days, you'd lay down in the middle of the trail, and when the moose stepped over you, you know, you would generally want to be on a log. Like you would find a log in the trail, and then you would lay down on the one side of the log. And when the animal stepped over you, you fucking stabbed it. You know? Anyway, I wanted to talk about a couple more customs. Let me kill this guy's real bright. I'm gonna see, does that help anybody? Yeah, that's actually probably much better. Wow, I shot 16 minutes of this video and it's probably shit. But we're continuing. So this is Yuri Modelo on a Jedi Luke body. This is okay. This is the same head. All right. This is, you know, Death Star gunner. That's a Micro Machine TIE Fighter wing. How about that? But now it's a shield. Anyway, so look. I was talking to our friend Mark, the Blue Harvest, and I was talking to our friend Gilster. And we were talking about kit bashing, and we were talking about, you know, Athena Prime and the Lost Wave and shit. But so check that out. Those are both the same. You see what I did there, right? You see that and that's the same head. Let me see what I can do here for us. Okay, so see, look at this from the side. I cut that off, right? Here's the same head, right? So I got this one turned like this. And I got this cut off. But like, isn't there a dude on the Knights of Ren, and isn't there some Saw Gerrera guys that look just like that? That have like a welding mask on like that? And then I realized this is like called the Mongo Beefhead syndrome, right? You just start, but I mean, it doesn't work for everything. So here's the original head, boom, on the body. Here's the head that we just put on the other guy, right? Here's the front. Now look at this guy's head. Look at this guy's head. Look at that guy's head. Do you see it? Do you see it? I see it. I don't know if you see it, but I see it. It's like it's like the, you know, like here's his eyeballs, right, and here's his bottom of his chin. But see, it's like an alien or something. His head's like that. But then there's welding mask guy, and then there's original dude. And of course, if you watch Rogue One, when they land and they take the people's costumes, the one that Jin's dressed up as is this guy, right? But he has no back of his helmet. So somebody already, like, they're not as original as Lack, because they're like, hey, let's cut the back off of that. Oh, and that's the last time we'll be seeing that head during this video. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about some fucking customs and kit bashing and how much fun. Oh my god, I really do want that head now, and I told you, like, that'll be the... Oh, I see it! Alright, look, I'm taking off the mic, and I'm gonna get this, motherfuckers. Check out this mic. My old lady got me this. It seems to work real good. I'm relatively... Okay, we're moving the camera too now. Fuck. Okay. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Let me hook the mic back up without rubbing it. Is it rubbing bad, everybody? I do not watch my videos, right? I really don't. But this one, I mean, I don't not watch them, but I'm just saying, like, I know the audio's not good, so I'm gonna listen to this one. But I don't, like, watch my own videos, you know? What kind of fucking weirdo does that? You know who you are out there. So, yeah, hey. This is General Lack Sivrak. General Lack Sivrak, Hoth Scout, Imperial Employed Scout, Space Fighter Pilot, and not Lack Sivrak. Also, Dice Ibogan. You've never had sex until you've had Florin Lamproid sex. And then we have these. This is Yuri Modelo. He'll be going to Skybottom Station here before long. Once I get some other boxes sent off. This guy has no identity yet, but I see this guy as some sort of like ninja Storm Shadow Snake Eyes of Star Wars. You know, and then this is, I don't know who this is, but this guy works for the Toklat mercenary group, and he's just employing that helmet. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. I read somewhere that, and this was a long time ago, so I'm sure whatever. It's not canon. It's not whatever. Fuck it. Everybody. But you know, Darth Vader's suit is not necessarily a special. Well, it is special in a couple ways, but Darth Vader's suit is not a special suit, right? It is a standard survival suit. Now, it has been tinkered with by the Emperor to actually cause Vader excruciating unnecessary pain, which then feeds his dark, whatever, the dark forces or whatever, you know what I mean? This guy used to stand, but now I can't get him to stand now. God damn it, son. Okay, hold on. Oh, look, now I'm like the only person in the toy community who has never had action figure stands, never had them, never bought them, for a long time, especially when I was younger, never even knew they existed. You know, Lack is fucking old school. Lack will tell you, like, that motherfucker won't stand up. But if it can stand up, Lack can make that motherfucker stand up. I've never had an action figure stand in my life. You know? So suck that. Anyway, yeah, Vader's suit is a standard style suit. I'm not sure of the mask, but the suit. And the only thing that's been tinkered with it is that it's engineered to hurt him and keep him in excruciating pain to feed his dark side, right? So the two things about that is A, that's why you see one of Saw Gerrera's guys in the background after you see, I can't remember his name, but, oh God! After you see Willow, the little chick Willow guy, behind him there's a dude in a welding mask, just like that custom you're looking at. And he is wearing, he has a Darth Vader fucking chest thing on. Anyway, we can talk about Star Wars all day long, about all different kinds of shit. Oh, my other little point to that, to the Darth Vader suit is that if Darth Vader survived, he wouldn't just paint his fucking suit white and be light side Darth Vader, because his suit's engineered to keep him in pain to feed the dark side. So if anything, it would be a different suit, you know. And the stylized helmet, I'm sure it would be changed to not look so evil, right? So I'm just saying, like, Hasbro and comic book people, you don't know shit about Star Wars if you fucking want to paint a Darth Vader white and say, oh, this is what Vader would be like if he survived. That's fucking stupid. And if you fucking think that we should believe that, you're fucking stupid. But then, check this out. Then I look at all the fucking reviews, and I look at all of the toy photography, and I'm not talking about anybody specific, but like, I look at all the people who bite into that, and they all, like, you can think White Vader is cool for the fact that, oh, it's Vader painted white, but don't try to explain to me the lore behind it and that it makes sense, because that proves to me that you also don't know a goddamn fucking thing. So, fuck off, you know? I'm totally against shit that they're making and pushing on you to absolutely fucking sell you, right? Like, I'll buy fucking figures and characters that are cool, but I'm not gonna fucking buy I'm not gonna buy every fucking Lando because I have to like Lando. And if I don't like Lando, then there's something wrong with me, because society says so. Lando's a fucking asshole, piece of shit, cocksucker, worst friend ever, and he's not fucking cool. I would beat the dog shit out of Lando. And what's strange is, in a galaxy like that we know Star Wars is, with people hanging around, I don't think Lando would be realistically live in that galaxy at all. He would be fucking killed very quickly, I think, because of his attitude. Now, today in the 21st century in Earth, I tell myself all the time, I look at people and I go, God damn, how did you live to be this old? Because you're stupid and you're fucking rude. But that's not a big deal now, because society protects dipshit, no-count losers. It just does. You can't just slap the fucking shit out of somebody for being a rude cocksucker. But you could do that before. And I can guarantee you one thing. Lando would get fucking goddamn bitch slapped daily. Every time he opened his mouth, he would get fucking bitch slapped. Clones. The only good clone is a fucking dead clone. You know what I mean? And I buy clones for my torture diorama, which I can't show on YouTube. Anyway, calm down, Lack. Jesus. Hey, this has been Lack Sivrak. We've been talking about customs. I've been rambling into this microphone for like 5 minutes and not even giving you a visual. Hey, we do come in peace. We think everybody should get along. I think we should all be able to talk. And don't get offended about anything I just said, okay? Because I do not harbor anger or hate, I guess, but shit fucking, I just don't get it. So, that's where don't confuse my confusion and like I'm scared. Like, it scares me. It scares me. You dig what I'm saying? And I know it comes off that I'm fucking angry and I want to hurt people. But no, I'm hurt and it fucking scares me. And I just don't understand what the fuck people are fucking goddamn thinking anymore, man. Anyway, this has been General Lack Sivrak on the mothership. I hope that you stayed with us for this whole fucking 28 minutes. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna shoot another video, and it's gonna be the Meiluron mail run. Hey, also, enter my giveaway, because I'm closing that motherfucker down, and I'm gonna put up a video for that. Enter to win now, because entries are gonna close, and my friend GeForce taught me that. And hey, there's a lot of people out there. Dude, there's a lot of people out there. And Lack is your friend. And if he's not your friend, that's cool. But it's not because of Lack's fault, because Lack loves all you motherfuckers. Lack loves all you motherfuckers. Alright? So hit me up anytime. Lord knows I've probably hit you up a bunch of times and you've never even fucking double tapped the fucking message to heart it. So, what the fuck? Alright. I'm gonna finish this cup of coffee and then I'm gonna shoot this other video. So look for it in the next couple days. The next Meiluron mail run. I got something from Blue Harvest. It's not from him. We'll go into it. He purchased it and sent it to me. You know what I'm saying? And I paid him for it. Because he's a good guy. He'll do that for you. Alright, everyone. This has been General Lack Sivrak. I hope the audio has been well. Dylan, I expect a full report. At 29 minutes and 40 seconds. This is Lack Sivrak on the mothership, signing out in transmission.